Well, sucks to say, and I'm sorry to say that 60 Minutes was buy the rumor beforehand and then sell the news on that day, guys. And this is XRP's price right now, right? We dumped about 7%. Crazy. Crazy. I mean, 60 Minutes killed XRP in 60 different ways, it seems as. So my question is, why did Garlinghouse even go on there? Doesn't make sense. Because yes, it does give more exposure to XRP, 100%. But if they're going to paint the picture in a certain light, why even go on there? Doesn't make sense. Now, before we talk about the 60 Minutes, what even happened, and all these things, I wanna preface this video and set the stage by Digital G's tweet. As a former regulated fund manager based in the city of London, I will concede that investing in XRP, XLM, and XCC is currently the greatest opportunity for gaining generational wealth. Other than any other investment opportunities I've ever encountered in my entire lengthy career, guys. Wow. So this person who comes from the traditional field, right? And it's a regulated fund manager, guys, based in the city of London. Interesting. Says, if you want to become rich one day, hopefully, right, and make it and get out of this rat system, well, the best opportunity he sees is XRP, right, and a few other utility type coins. Isn't that interesting? So even though XRP is down in a short-term time frame, maybe that's not too bad after all, because Elon's 60 Minutes interview aired on December 9th of 2018. Seems like history is repeating. Take a look at how Tesla charts appeared afterward. So December 9th of 2018, guys, right? And on here, didn't he say he doesn't respect the SEC as well? But this is Tesla's chart on the weekly time frame, and look at this, right? Literally the bottom. Look what happened. It went from, like, I don't know, single digits to triple digits, guys, right? And it took how many years? A couple years, right? Like 2 years. Wow, 2 years, huh? Interesting. By 2026, XRP should be at triple digits. I believe so myself. It's weird how it lines up. So here comes Garlinghouse. He says that crypto made its debut on 60 Minutes tonight. There's no doubt that these technologies will continue to become more and more mainstream, with influence and reach that will only continue to grow. But this is crazy if you think about it, guys, because it seems as, wow, XRP is truly the dark horse, right? The sheep that always goes in first, and every other crypto follows it. Because why couldn't Ethereum Foundation go on 60 Minutes, right? Or anyone else, but it had to be Garlinghouse, right? It does make sense though, but again, it's really odd to me, right? This just means another confirmation of XRP is truly the chosen one in my eyes. Now, a few things I do want to comment on after watching. I spoke with 60 Minutes for 90 plus minutes straight when discussing the SEC's misguided lawsuit against Ripple. 60 Minutes shockingly left out a federal judge ruled that XRP is not a security. Crazy. Gensler's shill, John Reed Stark, knows better despite his comments that 60 Minutes chose to air. Lastly, to say that crypto has no utility is exactly what the naysayer said about the internet in its earliest days. That is nothing more than illicit activity. How vastly were they proven wrong? Today, even JP Morgan is coming around on blockchain. Conveniently, 60 Minutes also failed to mention that Ripple is doing billions of dollars of know your customer transactions for institutional customers, leveraging XRP to move money cross-border more efficiently than traditional payment rails. Wow, right? Crazy. But let's check out this. Big crypto spends a big money to reshape the political landscape. And if you go down here, now in a close election, that kind of money makes a huge difference, particularly in the end of a cycle. Do you think that you tip the scales? Garlinghouse replied, "Do I think that putting that amount of money in the Ohio election had an impact? Absolutely." Okay. "It's incredible. Now, do you see this election as a major victory?" "For sure," Garlinghouse replied. "But some other people would say, we'll look at that and say, you teamed up and bought an election." Garlinghouse, at the end of the day, voters voted. We, educated voters, as many industries do, about candidates. But again, not only did they donate, guys, but remember, Chris Larson donated to the other side, right? Again, I told you guys it was a 200 IQ play move, because no matter who won, we're going to be on the right side of history. Okay, so check this out. They talked about FTX, guys, okay, and they exchanged the Black Swan that collapsed. Now, Garlinghouse responded to the whole matter that, hey, there's a lot of good actors in crypto too, right? Not just bad ones. Because it seems like they're painting that cryptos are a bad thing, right? But are they truly, when XRP is trying to help the average Joe sending money? Think about that. Ripple CEO says his company employs 900 people and has been working with regulated financial institutions to create a faster and cheaper way for people to send money overseas. XRP is the digital currency it uses to do that. It leverages XRP, which is undeniable, guys, right? And that's why XRP is going to a high price at some point in time. But Ripple also sold the digital currency XRP to investors. And XRP now trades on exchanges where people can buy or sell it in the hopes of making a profit. Garlinghouse has spent over $150 million fighting the SEC in court. John Reed Stark, supposedly he was trying to bash Ripple, guys, right? The antagonists and protagonists. But to me, none of this stuff matters because Trump will save the day, right? He already has, but he's going to accelerate it. Now, if you guys would like to watch the full interview, I'll have the link in the description below, guys, from Mr. Mann, right? I'm not going to play it, but Attorney Jeremy says the 60-minute piece was great for Ripple and XRP, and I would say neutral for the crypto industry as a whole. Garlinghouse is an articulate advocate for the industry and came across as reasonable and smart. Now, 60 Minutes chose John Stark to play devil's advocate, and he was bombastic and over the top. Ripple and XRP gets a solid A, crypto gets a B-, and the anti-crypto coalition gets a C-. Great watch. Right. So comment down below if you did watch the 60 Minutes. What do you guys think about it? For me, I would say there's a positive and a negative. Okay. The positive is XRP or Ripple, I think, was the first ever crypto something product to go on 60 Minutes. I don't know if there has been anyone else, right? That's a positive, which means we are the leaders in the space. That's point number one. Now, point number two is more people know about crypto, right? Especially XRP. So maybe perhaps they're going to join the space. The negative part is it dumped. XRP's price dumped, right? So I guess there's a positive and negative. I don't know. Now, Garlinghouse liked the tweet from, let's see, from XRP Queen. Let's go down here. Right here, guys. Lock in, right? Laser focus at Garlinghouse. Seems like Ripple is locked in, okay, for to achieve the goal of changing this world together for the better. All over the 60 Minutes Crypto Ripple segment, the XRP ledger was mentioned and showed multiple times, okay? Right here, Ripple is abandoning XRP, quote unquote, but literally monitoring the beautiful XRPL. supposedly they showed on the on 60 minutes, on the 60 minutes episode right here, guys. Wow, looks very beautiful, doesn't it? But a lot of people are funding XRP at this time. Crazy. Now, BC Backer says, to be honest, it was a pretty good interview. The older crowd got an image of Ripple with a pretty business-like approach. Learn about XRP, learn about that XRP is 300% plus, and that crypto is doing well, and voters cared about this election. Right? But overall, pretty decent. Now, supposedly, guys, Paramount, who owns 60 Minutes, transacts real-time payments across borders using JP Morgan payments. Cannot make that stuff up, right? Crazy. Now, I wouldn't be too scared, because breaking, South Korean investors are flooding local exchanges, choosing XRP over Bitcoin as the political crisis escalates. So once the storm is over, guys, this dip is bought up. Well, no, if you have true faith in XRP, you wouldn't even care that we dumped, right? Because people are still bullish. South Korean investors choose XRP over Bitcoin as political crisis deepens, right? XRP is the safe haven asset. I've been saying it, guys. When there's a crisis, I'm holding XRP, right? Because, well, at one point in time, guys, XRP may make it to 3 digits if it follows history, right? If it just follows simply history, right? So I'm not nervous, guys. But I just hope we pump, right? We pump. Will we see a pump? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. What are your thoughts about 60 minutes? I think there's a positive and negative in my eyes. The negative is short term. The positive is short and medium and long term. So we'll see what happens next. Not financial advice. Just I'm hodling. But anyways, that's what face me says. See ya.